already? Look, Mr. Andy, sir, are you sure I'm ready for this? These are people's brains I'm messing with.
Hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of Vampire Therapist. We're just diving straight into it. Let's get started. There's something pop up on my book, so I'm just going to see if I can find it. April 12th. I learnt some more therapy stuff today. Figure I've been doing a lot of this disqualifying the positive thing. I feel like I've gotten to be humble after the shit I pulled back when I was a bastard, but maybe that's just the shame talking. Andy says I'm ready to start seeing clients now, but I've got my head wrapped around this whole cognitive distortion thing. Can't believe it's all happening so fast. Went for a nice walk exploring Leipzig. There's a music school here and the kids are always performing stuff. I tried asking for Oh Susanna, but kids today don't appreciate good music. Gan Tiggs with a CD-ROM music. The wax cylinder was fine. Not quite sure I know what a wax cylinder is.
Fear not, my friend. You are a powerful vampire in your own right. To be so young and have so much empathy is quite a gift. All you need to do is listen, and I know the truth will reveal itself to you.
Shucks, wish I had your confidence.
Well, to a limited extent, I can see the future. If you are about to misinterpret a client's distortions, I will set you back on the right path.
You can see the future.
If I do something wrong, he's going to be there to help me.
It's not that impressive, really. You start to see the patterns after 1,000 years or so.
Well, dang. If seeing the future ain't impressive, that's gotta be a distortion. Disqualifying the positive, it's gotta be.
You barely require my aid as it is. If you need guidance, I will provide it to you telepathically.
Telepathically? Okay.
Don't think about it too much. When you are 3,000, such things will cease to impress you. Let us look at your first client's case file.
Dr. Drain, huh? You ain't got no first name?
Client record. Name Dr. Drain. Age 430. Gender male. Origin English. Intake information. Dr. Drain is a class. Can I not?
Many vampires go by one name. Families and titles seem to become more abstract after a certain age.
Huh. So is it funny that he kept the title?
Indeed. You catch on quickly, despite your habit of disqualifying the positive. I will let you work now. I shall be meditating in my coffin, but I will sense when you need my help.
Yeah, let's see. Can I have a look here? Yeah, okay, here we go. Dr. Drain, age 430, gender male, origin English. Intake information. Dr. Drain is a class of 1614 graduate of the Royal College of Physicians. He has been studying the nature of blood for the last several centuries. Became a vampire after a post-mortem blood transfusion experiment. Now runs a global pharmaceutical research company. Is now concerned that he has developed an addiction to a drug of his own formulation. Suggestion: detected strong irritability on the phone. Investigate Drain's drinking and sleeping habits. Okay.
But
Samuel, I know you can handle this. Be yourself and all will be well.
Okay. That was
Satan
good.
Bless it all, I hate flying.
Oh.
Oh, hey there. God's blood, what on earth are you? My name's Sam. I'm the new therapist. Make yourself comfortable, Dr. Drain.
That was weird. This was backwards. My name's Sam. I'm the new therapist. It's spoke backwards.
And American as well? Good God. It's not enough for you lot to take over the world of the living. Even the halls of the dead aren't safe from you. Oh well, I suppose your lot are all into this touchy-feely stuff, aren't you? And ignorance, even American ignorance, is bliss, I suppose. Oh, sweet ignorance, how I do wish I knew thee. Damn it, how am I gonna work with this fella? I gotta ask Andy.
Are you alright, Samuel?
Hello, Andy.
You gave me this fella as my first client?
Why not? He is clearly hiding very little about his state of mind.
How am I supposed to help him when he already sees me as the bad guy?
Use your instincts, Samuel. Think about how you have felt in your darkest hours. What does this poor vampire want?
He wants to complain.
I think he just wants to complain.
Perceptive, Samuel. He can hardly stop himself, can he?
So, what? I just let him complain?
Of course. Just give him a starting point to let it all out. It will make him feel better.
Well, if you say so.
Don't worry, Samuel. You are doing wonderfully. I will release your time now.
Well, are you just going to sit there? I was just going to ask how your trip here was. My trip? My trip was bloody wonderful. Until my familiar got a flat tire and I had to fly 30 kilometers here as a bat.
I mean, that sounds really fun. 30 kilometers as a bat?
I hate being a bat and I hate flying. Do you know an owl tried to eat me?
Oh, no, that doesn't sound good.
Me, a creature that has lived for centuries, treated like common prey. I'm surprised he was even interested. You should see what an ugly little beastie I am when I transform.
Let's see it.
All I could do was screech and squeak until he went away. Well, I suppose I'm alive, in a manner of speaking anyway. You all right there, pal? Yes, I'm fine. Well, I'm not, of course. I wouldn't be here otherwise. But for the sake of conversational integrity, fine. I take it you read my case file and know why I'm here?
He has an addiction.
You're here for an addiction problem. Yes. Embarrassing, isn't it? What's to be embarrassed about? I remember when Ulysses S. Grant was president. Didn't seem to bother him. Oh, well, of course. How wonderful it is that I share the mental failings of people who only live a single lifetime. Hey, come on now. There's a part of us that's still mortal. Can't help that, just like we can't help being dead. So I'm discovering. Look, I just need some tips and I'll be on my way. Just give me all the tricks. Whatever one does to make addictions go away. Tips? Let me think.
Suggest a milder addiction. Suggest something tasty. Suggest a hug. Suggest there are no easy solutions. Suggest something tasty?
I like chewing on a piece of jerky. Chewing on a piece of jerky? Well, there's nothing wrong with your hearing. You know, there's blood traces in jerky. Just keeps you moving. I am not sure what would be thought of the somewhat respected Dr. Drain if he sat around chewing a piece of processed meat product. Perhaps it's something to consider if I'm ever reduced to the status of a bum. But until then, I think a different solution would be preferable.
Would you like a hug?
Would you like a hug? I can't think of anything I'd enjoy less. I'm not a hugger, if that wasn't... And not to give offense, but I fear I might end up with fleas.
Oh, that's not very nice.
Hey, come on now. I'm almost entirely sure I don't have any passengers right now. Well, I'm entirely sure I'm not fond of parasites.
Suggest a milder addiction?
An old buddy of mine swore by chewing tobacco for curbing them tendencies. And where is that old buddy of yours, pray tell? Well, he died. Weren't pretty neither. Yes, and while I know you Americans have your stereotypes, the dental hygiene in England is actually rather good.
Well,
The
yeah.
last time you went to a dentist? Dang, nabbit, not you too.
Suggest there are no easy
Partner,
solutions.
there ain't no tips that'll magically cure you. But I'm here to listen. You know, I never in my life thought anyone would ever call me partner. Like partner, but not with a T. And I know how you English love your tea.
I mean, I'm Scottish and I still really like tea, so.
Thank goodness we can still process tea. We cannot live on blood alone. I appreciate the concern, though. I must admit, I rather saw myself above this whole addiction thing. I tell you what, let's not worry about being above or below anything. You're here now, so let's see what we can do. What exactly are you addicted to? It's a form of plasma, a catalytic compound of my own design, a necessary component of my own scientific goals. You're losing me. Well, let me try to make it simple. I have been able to replicate and even alter the molecular patterns that vampiric erythrocyte surface receptors receive.
I'm still lost.
Our unique physiology gives us an increased ligand affinity, which is how we are able to process blood the way that we do. I can extend this receptivity and thus achieve my true goal: synthetic blood, freedom from the hunger that plagues us, and hope for all humanity. Well, dang, that sounds pretty impressive, Doc. Well, it doesn't work without a vampiric catalyst, and that is the plasma I am addicted to.
Okay.
Pathetic, isn't it? I have spent 400 years trying to steal the secret of blood, only to be engulfed by it, like Prometheus walking into a
It
fireplace.
happens.
Pathetic? Doc, where the heck would you get a word like that? You've come up with a synthetic blood. Man, I can barely get my spurs on some mornings. Maybe you've had a setback or two, but give yourself a little credit, compadre. Credit? For wasting 400 years? Practically speaking, I'm in the same place as I was back when King James was in power. Only now I have a drug problem. Perhaps I must face facts. My professor was right. Nothing we ever do will make a damned bit of difference.
Samuel, listen to him. Do you recognize his patterns of thought?
He's
There's some distortions in there, ain't there?
yeah.
I knew you would sense them. Invite him to talk more about this failure of his.
I'll do my best. Now hold on just a minute there, cowpoke. I've heard you talk a lot about failure, but it sure sounds to me like you ain't thinking clearly if you think you're a failure. I am a realist, that's all. Look at me. 400 years of study and still dabbling with leukocytes.
Oh, he's putting himself down, right? He's disqualifying the positives, right?
I don't know many people who would call working with leukocytes dabbling. I mean, I gotta admit, I have no earthly clue what you're talking about. So unless you made up all them science terms, I think you might be doing more than playing with a chemistry set. Perhaps, but if we consider all there is to know about blood, I know precious little. But you know something. Yes, I concede I might know something about blood. I would hope so after 400 years. You still got more knowledge about blood than most, whether it's been 4 years or 400 years, amigo. Let's get back to what you were saying, though. I'm saying I am surely the oldest, most well-studied doctor in the world. I should have achieved more than this.
You are. That's control, right? I think. It's a should statement.
Well, who said you should have achieved more? Isn't it obvious? I should have something to show for 400 years of work. And what happens if you don't? Absolutely nothing at all. Well, that's my point. That is not as encouraging as you think it is. Ain't meant to be encouraging, just showing you a little reality. Well, it's all my fault, really. I cannot seem to motivate my scientists to reach the necessary level of dedication. It's always shocking to me how little urgency mortals have around death.
That's control.
So it's all your fault that you haven't come up with the perfect synthetic blood. It can't be anyone else's fault. Only I have the skill, the knowledge, and the experience. Pardon me for saying so, Doc, but it sounds like what you're doing is pretty dang complicated. It sounds to me like you're some kind of god if you expect control over life itself. Please, I'm a scientist, not a spiritualist. It is not control I seek, but understanding.
I'm a spiritualist.
And are you ever going to have perfect understanding? No, of course not. I'm not a wizard. So how about not putting saving the world on one person, Doc? That is a simplification, but I take your point. As I was saying, now that I'm addicted to my own drug, I have joined the ranks of mortal celebrities in my utter irrelevance.
I'm not quite sure what that one is. Live or die. I'm not quite sure. Control. Is it labeling?
Now, why would you go and label yourself irrelevant? What else do you call the man who has nothing to show after 400 years? I reckon I'd call him by his given name. Slapping a label on yourself don't do nothing but weigh you down.
Sam is speaking so much truth right now.
Oh, well played, cowpoke. Perhaps I am being a little dramatic. Yes, I'm aware that in reality progress has been made, enough to get to this point. But I didn't come here to ask for a pat on the back and to be told I'm a good boy. That ain't my department, but I hear they do some of that stuff downstairs. Yes, we all know very well that the Continentals are more sexually liberated than we are. But as I say, I don't want all this therapy stuff. I just want to stop using this damn drug. So what's so good about this stuff anyway? Why do you like it? I'm not certain. I don't remember what happens after I take it, but I wake up feeling, how do I put this, alive. Well, that don't sound so bad. A good nap can make me feel like a new man. I'm not talking about feeling refreshed. I mean I feel alive. As if I'm someone else. Someone who lives. And I wake up and find, oh gracious me, I am not depressed.
I wish I could wake up to say I'm not anxious or depressed.
You mean to tell me that you're going to sleep depressed every night? Oh, nothing of the sort. Oh well, I'm glad to hear that. You are assuming that I can simply go to sleep and my global scientific enterprise will run itself. Oh wait just a gosh darn minute, you're telling me you don't sleep?
Ever? You never sleep?
Yes, it's not as though we can get much deader already, and I have work to do.
That's not healthy.
So you're not sleeping, and you're always depressed. I think we're starting to get somewhere. Oh, don't be such a bumpkin. If you are a sapient individual, aware of the world around you, depression is the only sensible reaction. It has nothing to do with sleep. Come on now, it's a big world out there, and different things are depressing to different people. Everyone reacts to things differently. Ain't it true that a sensible person, as you call them, might even be a different degree of depressed? Very well, I suppose I might have been using a bit of mild hyperbole.
Hyperbole?
Mild is putting it mildly, buckaroo. Buckaroo? Now I'm even more depressed. Regardless, I didn't come here to be a whiner. Oh, boo-hoo, life is hard. Yes, we all know it's hard.
This one? No.
Dr. Drain is calling himself a whiner for being sad.
Yeah,
If he is
I
trying
follow
to
that.
bully himself into being happy, he has clearly met with minimal success.
Regardless, now why do you say
Yeah.
coming and talking to me makes you a whiner? Is that not what I currently am? Sounds to me like you're expressing yourself. Whiner is the word you used. Yeah, if you want to call it whining, that's up to you. But that's entirely your label. Oh, very well, call it moaning or whinging if you prefer.
But you're still labeling yourself.
Moaning, whinging, belly aching, still all just labels. I don't believe I shall be using the term belly aching in any case. But as I was saying, in the moments I wake up, I feel free. I suppose it must be what being an ignoramus feels like.
I'm not sure what that one is. The labeling again?
You honestly think feeling good makes you an ignoramus? The phrase ignorance is bliss is most apt, don't you think? But by calling yourself an ignoramus, you're making bliss something to be avoided. Yes, unfortunate how that works, isn't it? The only way to be happy is by being a fool. Partner, those are your labels. Try using something more positive and see how you feel. What, shall I say that by being ignorant, I am a noble genius? Still just labels.
It's all labels. Everything so far you've said, Drain, is labels.
Oh, very well. I suppose I might be discounting my experience. I don't know how to say this, amigo. You really don't like letting yourself be happy. Honestly, I'm failing to see the problem with taking this stuff. Seems like it's making you get the rest you need and it makes you feel good. What's the problem? First of all, I do not need to rest. And partaking of this plasma does have downsides. What kind of downsides? I do not know what happens when I partake of the substance. However, when I wake up, I feel refreshed. But I also smell of blood and sex.
Why do you smell of sex?
Once I even woke up wearing a football jersey. It was most distasteful.
Yeah.
I guess you must be having some kind of good time. That is not my idea of a good time. I'm Dr. Drain. I am intelligent and worldly, not some ill-bred monster. I don't go gallivanting into godforsaken places to engage in depraved coitus and the consumption of dirty blood. It sounds to me like you're real good at denying yourself things. Well, I should be better at it.
That's a should statement.
You know, Doc, a wise old vampire recently told me something I'm about to tell you. You keep talking about the things you should be doing. You, compadre, are shoulding all over yourself. Oh, well, that is vivid, isn't it? I can now add incontinence to my already considerable list of faults. I'm being serious. I'm listening to you tell me I should be doing this, and I shouldn't be doing that. But who gave you all them shoulds and shouldn'ts? I don't know. It shouldn't matter, should it? I've been dead for over 400 years. It's the oldest stuff that sticks with us, amigo. We all got traumas.
You certainly do.
Heck, we're dead, man. That's traumatic no matter what. What we gotta start with is you. You've been through a lot. Don't rope yourself up so tight. Listen, we're doing good work already, I know it. Now, let's not push too hard. I would really like you to think about where all them shoulds are coming from before we meet again. And be good to yourself, all right, partner? Don't feel like you gotta go cold turkey on that plasma stuff. Yes, well, all the same, I'd rather not do it at all. Is that actually gonna happen, though? It might. You're dipping into it tonight, aren't you? I was thinking about it. All right, partner. Just give yourself a little compassion. That's all I'm asking. I'll admit, you've given me some things to think about. Not pleasant ones, mind. You can handle it, partner. You're way smarter than I am. Yes, well, that is certainly true. Very well. I shall do some reflecting, inasmuch as our kind can reflect. I shall see you in precisely 4 weeks, then. Farewell, Sam.
Bye, Drain.
Masterfully done, Samuel. I knew you would do well, but that doesn't make me any less pleased.
Well, that was a hell of a rush. That fella's holding on tighter than a holster to a gunslinger's hip. It felt real good to help him look at himself a little more kindly.
Good, Samuel. Treasure this feeling. But also rest. Go downstairs, get something to drink, relax in your coffin. Next week you shall see a new client. I think they will be an interesting challenge for you.
Oh, yeah?
I bid you good evening, Samuel. Rest in peace.
Good night, Andy.
You too, Andy. Well, I guess it's time I got me some grub.
Back to the club.
Well, that's it, I guess. My first client. Can't believe I'm doing this therapy stuff already. Sure could use a drink. I'll check in with Crimson.
Well, if it isn't Yosemite Sam, how you doing tonight, partner?
Hello, Crimson.
Better already, hearing from someone from the States who knows the lingo.
I'm not from any states, cowpoke. District of Columbia girl here.
I figured you must have been coastal. You sound a little more, polished than I do.
You should hear my German.
Maybe some other time. My brain's full tonight. I had my first therapy session with a real client.
Oh, yeah? How do you think it went?
I say it went great.
I reckon it was a bullseye on my end. You should have seen me. Labeling, blam, disqualifying the positive, kapow.
I'm glad to hear it. Someone has got to sort these vamps out. They know how to hold on to their problems.
You ain't kidding. Living or dead, once people hit 70, they get pretty dang set in their ways.
You know Andy still uses a typewriter?
I
can't get that
love-
gorgeous man to see the light.
Love a typewriter.
Keep it up, cowboy. You're a breath of fresh air for these ancient ones.
Anyone ever tell you you're wise beyond your years, Crimson? You must have had some life.
Afraid I'm exactly as wise as my years. How old do you think I am, cowboy?
Careful, Sam. Don't
I'm
fall
gonna
for
do the
it.
gentlemanly thing and not hazard a guess.
You would have gotten it wrong anyway. I'm 50 years young.
No way you are 50, Crimson. My God, look at her.
50? I died around that age and I looked like shit. But you ain't a vampire.
Like I told you, I'm Andy's blood partner. He shares his blood with me too, just not enough to turn me into one of you. I've been 30 for a good while now.
But you ain't joining our team? Sounds like a story.
Not for tonight, buckaroo. I bet you're thirsty after a big night. Andy told me to give this to you.
Oh yeah, what is it?
We had a group of Americans come in last week who donated their blood.
Okay.
Andy can't stand the stuff. He says the blood glucose levels are too high, but he thought you'd appreciate it.
More sugar?
It ain't so bad. I gotta ask though, what does Andy's blood taste like?
To me, it tastes like life itself, cowboy.
That's sweet.
I ain't sure I understand.
Never you mind. Look, Tex, I've got some customers to serve, so go enjoy your juice, okay?
Oh, of course. I'm keen to get some rest anyway. You have yourself a fine night, Crimson.
Night, Crimson.
There he is, my incredible protege.
What's in the book? April 19th, 2024. I met my first client tonight, and oh boy, he did not like me much. It sounds as though he doesn't like anybody much. Oh, so I can't be too disappointed. Poor fella, I ain't never seen anyone so high strung. Well, maybe Pussifier Jones 80 years later, and the memory of him still makes me laugh. That kitty even hated John Muir, and I think all his animals loved him. She would hiss even when eating her food. It was the dangerous thing. I picked up that this Dr. Drain is a real should statement kind of fella, but I think I can help him out. If I can get him to take a nap, I think he'll be a lot less grumpy.
Come on now, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Evidence stands against that reasoning, my friend. Do we need to talk about disqualifying the positive again?
No, we
all
don't.
right, I get it. I guess I've been muddling through okay.
You've been doing wonderfully. I hope you are ready for a bit of a challenge tonight.
Okay.
Your next client has been known to be somewhat difficult.
Okay.
Here, look at her intake form.
Isabella Deste. Dang, she's got some funny tasting hats.
He's 550.
I think you should get along quite well then.
Walked right into that one.
Isabella is not your average vampire. She was once the powerful matriarch of one of the most influential families in Europe.
Okay.
She fraternized with popes and kings, and she also wielded great power over the art world. Some say that she was the model for the Mona Lisa.
Oh, okay.
One of them highfalutin types, huh? I don't think she's gonna like me much.
Let's have a read on her. Isabella Deste? 550, gender female, origins Renaissance. Isabella was a key figure in the Italian Renaissance, funding the works of Leonardo da Vinci, Andrea Mantegna, and Michelangelo. She received a humanist education and knows much about history, art, music, and philosophy. Oh my god, sorry, it's my lisp. I have stated in my descriptions, if anybody is unaware, I do have a speech impediment. I do struggle to say a lot of words, so I do try my best, but yeah, sometimes that can happen. She comes from a highly aristocratic background but has endured considerable family issues through the generations. She states that she has undergone an existential immortality crisis, suggesting that her life and unlife have both been meaningless. Suggestion be polite, basically. Okay.
She is as human as any of us, Samuel. I already know you will find a way to relate with her.
If you say so.
Remember, you can always seek my advice if you feel lost. You are not alone. But I hear the beating of elegant wings. Breathe, Samuel. Oh, and do be polite.
Goodness. So you are the new therapist Andromachos told me of. I was not expecting someone so rugged.
Sam Wall's at your service, ma'am.
You are a therapist.
Well, that's what I'm here for, ma'am.
Enough with this, ma'am. I am not running a whorehouse. You may call me Senora.
Senora. Alright, Signora?
All right, Sinora.
Senora? Must you assault my ears with your Neolithic grunting?
I'm doing the best I can.
Then speak properly. Repeat after me. Signora.
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 Signora! Signora!
Signora?
Porca miseria, this is not going to be easy, is it?
No, not with the way you're talking to me, Isabella.
Therapy ain't never easy, Senora.
So, therapy is always easy then?
I said it ain't never easy, Senora.
Is therapy easy or is it not?
Not, I guess.
Oh, how are we to examine my inner demons if your own speech is so diabolical?
You know what? Let's start over. Greetings and salutations, Senora. I am most honored to receive you in my humble office.
Very well. I suppose it will do.
I'm just here to help, Senora. It says here on your intake forms that you've been having a tough time lately.
A tough time? Indeed, yes, it has been a tough time. The realization that not only am I a corpse, but that I have been a useless corpse for nearly 400 years is a tough time.
So what set off this feeling that you're a corpse?
I saw a film at the cinema.
Hey, I love the cinema.
Bond with her over movies. Bond with her over Hollywood glamour.
I can't get enough Hollywood. All that glitz and glamour. Them celebrities sure know how to look good.
Per favore, they look like employees of a peacock
Oh
brothel.
dear.
The battle between licentiousness and chastity has ended, and chastity has been utterly degraded on the battlefield. They should be ashamed of themselves, parading their young flesh for the adulation of fools. I could teach them about proper fashion, but alas, they would be incapable of hearing my wisdom.
I can tell I'm barking up the wrong tree here. Let's go back to this movie you saw at the cinema.
It was a most terrible film, one that shook me to my core. The pain of it lingers with me still 5 years later.
Well, movies can be pretty powerful. Heck, I remember seeing one of the first films. There was a train coming right for the audience. We thought we were dead for sure.
3D.
This film was not powerful, it was meaningless. It said nothing, did nothing, less than nothing, as loudly and garishly as possible. And the audience, fools that they were, cheered, applauded this desecration of the mind. I hate this film with all my being, for it has done the cruelest thing. It has revealed the dark truth. This life that I cling to has no purpose.
That's not true, Isabel. I don't never say stuff like that about yourself.
Dang, what the heck was this movie?
Space Wars. Rise of the Spacewalker.
Never really been a big fan on Space Wars.
Well, wait a minute. Space Wars, the big science fiction franchise?
Yes, I believe it is important to understand modern media diets.
But that's the movie that gave you your personal crisis?
Mind your tone. Do not think me a fool. I know it was not high art. But the money it made, it would make even the Pope blush. This stinking trash. This is what the people want. You see, I understand now. My attempts to infuse art with meaning were pointless. All that I am, all that I ever was, is dead.
It's disqualifying positive. No, maybe it's
For
not.
such a complicated woman, the answers are overly simple for Signora d'Este, are they not, Samuel?
You see,
Are they?
I understand now. My attempts to infuse art with meaning were pointless. All
Nope.
that I...
For such a complicated woman, the answers are
You see, I understand now.
I can't think of what this is meant to be.
Pointless. All that I am, all that I ever was, is
Labeling, right? No.
For such a complicated woman,
You see,
You don't seem
Yeah.
that dead to me. We're having this conversation, ain't we? You ain't just lying there decomposing.
it is no different. I might as well be rotting in the ground.
I think you might get pretty bored.
Are you getting smart with me, boy?
No.
Look, I'm just
No.
talking facts. If you're saying all you are is dead, I think you might be doing some Nosferatu thinking. It ain't black and white. You're here. But let's go back to what you were saying.
Once, I elevated art, and all the world benefited. Why have I lost my power to elevate art now?
Control.
All the world benefited? There's a lot of people, and they got a lot of different preferences. You can't get them all, can you?
But I could, once upon a time.
You can't reach everybody, Senora. I hadn't even heard of the Mona Lisa until about 1911.
Did you have any schooling whatsoever?
No,
Not very
I
nice.
didn't. But I don't think anyone in my time knew about the Mona Lisa either.
Oh, how wonderful. You add to my despair.
I'm saying you can't reach everyone, even in your own time.
That is true. I doubt the rabble had much of an opinion about the so-called great masters.
We only know what we know. But you were saying,
It was all for nothing. What good was guiding Da Vinci when they sell the Mona Lisa on beer coasters?
Not quite sure. Let's read through them again. So, it's live or die. It's definitely not this one. Control. A lot of us bloods have a habit of either being overconfident and thinking we can handle anything, or be completely hopeless thanks to the endless march of time. If I can't lasso it, nobody can. If Immortals have our secrets. Labeling. I don't think it's labeling. I'm a vampire, I should live in a castle. Is it?
Oh, come on now. Just because the Mona Lisa's been on a coaster doesn't mean that's all it's ever been for. I think you might be downplaying just what an impact you've had on the world.
The world needs no help from me to reduce my life's efforts to cheap commodities.
So just because something gets printed on a t-shirt, that cancels out everything that's good about it?
Yes, that is exactly what it does.
And I thought I was good at disqualifying the positive.
It should not be so. Art should have meaning, purpose. Beauty should expose truth.
So, the only little thing I want to say about this game, the little bug that I have, is when I hover over the things at the bottom, like the thing can control labeling, the sound is so loud that it's piercing my ears. Even when I turn down the sound in the options, that one sound is still super, super loud. So it's the only thing that I could maybe say that maybe needs tweaked, because it does hurt. But if you are enjoying this so far, everyone, this is part 2. Part 1, you know, if you haven't watched already, go and watch part 1. Drop a subscribe, like and comment. Let me know if you want to see the full game when it does come out. Hop on over to Steam, wishlist the game, help the devs out, and yeah, let's keep going.
You're saying art should have meaning and purpose, but does all art need those things?
What is the purpose of creation otherwise?
How about if I just like doodling? Ain't that a good enough reason to draw?
It is a pointless reason.
Well, maybe I want to do something pointless. All I'm saying is that I don't have the same shoulds you do.
Perhaps you should.
Why?
But I don't. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do.
Which is speak like a peasant.
Heck, that's what I am, Senora. Ain't nothing gonna change that reality. Let's get back to what you were saying.
But it seems I am just a dead woman. A walking corpse who is not worth listening to. I should walk into the sun.
Actually, you're labeling yourself.
Now, why have you gotta go and call yourself names?
They are not names, they are my reality. I am a dead woman, and I am a corpse, am I not?
Is that all you are?
This is how I am defined by the world.
It's not though.
Seems to me you're the one using them names. Hell, I think I'd be a little afraid of calling you a corpse.
As you should be. Allow me to continue. You know, you make me sound rather mad. Like an old woman, railing at the world, screaming into the void, all to no purpose.
Look, Senora, all I'm trying to do is show you where you're a little rigid in your thinking is all. You're expecting a lot from the world and a lot from yourself. It ain't no surprise that you're gonna be disappointed over and over again.
I suppose that is some insight. Indeed, I have been in a state of disappointment from the moment I was 16.
What happened when you were 16?
I got married.
No. But young.
I think I get it.
You absolutely do not get it. You are a man.
Well then, help me understand.
Frankie, my husband. He taught me the meaning of disappointment. He taught me the world was built upon lies. These things men proclaim as values. Truth, beauty, the spiritual. They were all fiction. But if men did not live according to principle, I would. I would set the example and shame them all. Yet, what a fool I have been to think humanity had greater aims.
So, what's this greater aim you're talking about?
I received a humanist education as a child. I was taught that the pathway to God was through rationality and a questioning mind, not slavish devotion to tradition. This world is not Eden, but it could be. Or so I thought.
So you're talking about a literal pathway to God?
No, fool. A pathway to godliness. To live according to our natures. our true natures.
You mean being vampires?
You mean being vampires?
Come now, boy. Nothing could be further from natural. All this foolish hissing and copulation and blood drinking does not bring us closer to God. But it does give us more time to find the path.
Well, talk to me about this pathway to God. How do you reckon we find this path?
I reckon nothing. I've always known that we can find our way back to God by fulfilling our human potential to be the greatest souls possible.
That's this one, right?
So what happens if we don't become the greatest souls possible?
Then godliness is denied to us, as it should be.
So either we ascend or we're nothing, huh?
I am glad to hear you are not as foolish as you look.
Oh, let's be honest, Senora. Plain folks like me ain't got aspirations of being as good as Jesus Christ. Ain't he supposed to be a forgiving sort anyway? Let's just get back to what you were saying.
I have always known we must master ourselves and our baser instincts. Virtue must triumph over vice.
It's control.
Been around a while, Senora. In all that time, when have we mastered ourselves and our baser instincts?
Not a single day. Men especially have no bottom to their depravity.
All right, fair enough. So us fellas have disappointed you every day for a few hundred years, right? Ain't that proof that nothing you do is gonna change that?
An evil thought, Mr. Sam Walls, but true, I concede.
Well
We're
done,
in
Sam.
agreement then. It's a little bit of a control fallacy to think that's gonna change because of you. Let's keep going.
I have always known that the earthly lives we lead are disgusting, and only war and death can come of them.
That's disqualifying the positive. No, it's not.
The world is very dark to our dear Senora, is it not, Samuel? I did not know my own life was so devoid of meaning.
I have always known that the earthly lives we lead are disgusting, and only war.
The world is
not.
very dark to our dear Senora.
I have always known that the earthly lives.
Nope.
The world is very dark to our...
Hold up just a sec there, cowpoke. You really think all we can do is sow death and destruction?
I do not poke cows. Do I look like a farmer?
You want me to answer that?
Come on, Senora. You've been alive to see what? 15, 20 billion people live and die? You really saying death and destruction is all each and every one of them ever amounted to?
Well, perhaps not individually, but as an immortal, I look at the greater arc of history.
Well, most of us ain't looking to contribute to the greater arc of history, but that don't mean life's pointless. That's some Nosferatu thinking, I'll tell you what. But let's continue.
I have always known the people have become fat and lazy, and living within the Garden of Eden is impossible in such a state.
Our esteemed client is very good at coming up with names for others, isn't she? Perhaps you can call her out on this behavior.
That
I
labeling?
have always.
Yeah.
Sounds to me like you're coming up with labels for kicking people out of the Garden of Eden. Is that all we amount to? Fat and lazy?
Look around your own country, boy. Look at me. See my disgusting rolls and saggy features.
Oh, Isabella, don't say that.
Would you let me into the Garden of Eden?
Well, sure, why the heck not?
I am glad you are not the gatekeeper then.
You rather have a gatekeeper who wouldn't let you in? Listen, Senora, you gotta go easy on yourself with them labels. Well, let's keep talking, though.
I have always known we should act with dignity if we would take our place at God's side once more.
That's a good statement.
I think this here's the meat of it, Senora. The filet mignon.
I fear your French is even worse than your Italian.
Here's the thing, Senora. Who came up with all them shoulds that'll take you to God?
Why, the greatest thinkers of history that I studied in my youth. Plato, Aristotle, Cicero, Aquinas.
Sounds like a bunch of dead guys to me. They really had it all figured out way back when, huh?
Well, of course not. How foolish do you think me?
Not at all, Senora. Just questioning where all them shoulds are coming from. But let's keep going.
So you think you are so very clever, do you, boy? That by pointing out my distortions, you have won. That is where you are truly the fool. I already know how wrong I have been, that I have been chasing an impossible fiction all my life. Indeed, I now believe that even if we did follow the pathway to God, once we reached the end, we would discover that he, too, was a work of fiction. When I say God, I mean goodness, propriety, intelligence. God himself is a lie.
Not everyone believes that, Isabella.
I see. So you've lost your faith.
Yes, it has crumbled to dust, much like myself in this fat, wretched old body.
I hate the way she's talking about herself. Never put yourself down, ever. Don't let anybody put yourself down, especially yourself.
Beauty and truth are lies. Ideas developed by ugly men to justify their existence. While we occupy ourselves chasing those ideals, they create space wars to leech our money and our vitality. And to think they call me judgmental while they created the false ideal to judge against. You don't think I'm judgmental, do you, boy?
You're doing nothing but judging.
I wouldn't put it that way exactly. Besides, I ain't gonna call you names. In fact, that's where I think I want to challenge you. Senora, I think the person you're judging more than anyone is yourself. I know you got raised with all them high ideals, so of course you're getting disappointed when nobody can reach them. That's some heavy pressure, not just on them, but on yourself. I'd ask yourself what all that pressure's doing for you. Is it bringing you any satisfaction? We can't always control what things are gonna be.
This is not acceptable.
Control?
I got some bad news for you, Senora. None of us really has the power to change the world on our own. Not even a clever lady like yourself. I suggest we start working on ways of helping you find a way to accept the world for what it is.
But the world is base and unworthy.
Remember that term I told you about? Nosferatu thinking? You're gonna strip all the color out of the world if you keep doing that. The world's a lot more than just base and unworthy.
Nosferatu thinking. I am not used to having my own thoughts thrown back at me.
Well, that's why you're here, ain't it? I ain't gonna help you change the world, Senora. All I can do is help you find some other perspectives.
I suppose there is a certain simpleton's wisdom in the way you speak.
Thanks, I guess.
Very well, boy. I will consider what you have said. We will meet again in exactly 4 weeks. Do we have an understanding?
Yes, indeed, Senora.
See you later, Sonora.
Please learn to speak properly by then.
Well done, Samuel. I believe you handled Senora Deste quite well.
You kidding? That lady straight up hates my guts.
Samuel, if Isabella Deste hated your guts, she would not be shy about telling you so.
But yeah, I mean, that does seem to be the type of woman she is.
That I believe.
The older we get, the harder it is to gain a different perspective. Have patience. We are not all as wise as Samuel Walls.
Guess it's just that simpleton's wisdom, as the Senora called it.
Do not adopt her labels, Samuel. I will not stand for it. I know she was a challenge, but you rose to it as I knew you would. I think you deserve a night of hard drinking. What do you say?
You don't need to tell me twice. All right, Andy. I'll see you later then.
Indeed, Samuel. Enjoy yourself. Excellent work tonight. Rest in peace.
Good night, Andy. Vampire Therapist. Thank you for playing the preview of Vampire Therapist. In the full game, you'll greet clients from different historical eras, drink lots of golf nights, learn mindfulness meditation, sit in a chair made by a famous carpenter, greet a historical child actor, and much more. Thank you everyone who has tuned in and watched my demo playthrough of this game. I really enjoyed it. I do think that I am going to continue playing this when it does come out. So if you would like to see more of it, please remember to smash that subscribe button, like and comment below, and pop on over and have a look at some of my other playlists I have on the channel. You might find something you like. Thank you everyone for watching.